You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall every live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your weekly DC Sports Update, and I am your host, CWall. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to get your update on everything that's happening in DC sports this week. We're going through everything. So make sure you are sharing this show. Make sure you are liking and loving the show, sharing it with your DC sports loving family and friends, because as always, there's so much to discuss. We never miss a beat. Now, do we? No, we do not. So definitely, let's get this thing going. You see, there's already folks checking in. Of course, the CWall team is checking in. Of course, Joy, who always facilitates the show chat and make sure the discussion gets going. Of course, my mom, who's always on. So I see the Hi Mama Wallers coming in already. So look, I see huge DC sports fan John Adams checking in. I see Cameron Mingo has checked in. You all want to make sure that you are tapping in your fellow DC sports loving family and friends, because tonight we have a Nats update. We have a Caps update, Capital City Go-Go. We're going to get into the Wizards, and we're absolutely going to get into the Washington football team. That is 6 teams, everybody. Count them off. 6 that we're going to make sure we get into for this week's show. As you all know, what is our one of our favorite mantras on the show? You already know what it is. When is there a dull moment in DC sports? Never. Absolutely never. And this week is no different, everybody. So let's get another love emoji check-in. Make sure you all are there and you're with me. And let's go ahead and get started. So the Washington Nationals posted their 2022 coaching staff. So let's take a minute to take a look at this. They thought it was important that this be shared. Of course, Davey Martinez is still gainfully employed with the Washington Nationals as the manager of the team. Take a look here at all of the names. Familiarize yourself with these names, because this is the staff that will be preparing for in scouting and in further elevating and empowering the next Washington Nationals roster. It is important. It is important. I always want folks to know not just the players, but who is actually coaching the players. I think it's important that everybody knows who is making the magic happening. I think it's always so important to make sure that everybody knows. The coaches are important. You all know, if you've watched this show long enough, you know that yes, I absolutely get into players, but you know that I'm into coaches. That is why in the CWall store, quick plug, in the CWall store, there is a shirt that says, "What is my superpower?" There's a hashtag and it says, "I coach." Because somebody's gotta get the players good to go. So thought it was important to share that news with you all. Make sure you screenshot the picture, save it, because you'll definitely want to know that. As we know that they're on the off season, the Atlanta Braves just won the World Series, but soon the off season will be over. February will be here before you know it, and they'll be getting ready for spring training. So just wanted to let you all know that in advance. Washington Capitals. Currently, the Washington Capitals are facing the Florida Panthers. This marks the Capitals' first game against the Panthers since November 27, 2019, which resulted in a Caps 4-3 win. So the Caps have earned a point in 21 of their last 27 games. Here's another tidbit in Caps history, or shall I say Alexander Ovechkin history. So this week marks the 7-year anniversary that Alexander Ovechkin became the franchise point leader. 7 years ago, Alexander Ovechkin became the franchise point leader. So he set the mark on November the 4th, actually, 2014. How about that? How about that? Thought that was interesting. Always got to educate on what's happening in DC sports and a little bit of sports history in case you never know you're in a trivia situation and you need to know details like that. With that being said, like I said, Caps taking on Florida this weekend. They'll also be taking on the Philadelphia Flyers at Capital One Arena. You can catch the game. If you're not going to the game, you can catch the game on NBC Sports Washington and on the radio on 106.7. Everybody check in. Are you still with me? Check in, like love emoji so that I know you are absolutely paying attention and still in the building. Matter of fact, Capital City Go-Go fans, are there any Capital City Go-Go, the area's G League team fans? Hopefully you've checked out the November home schedule. Check it out. G League team information here. Again, screenshot it. Use it for your reference. I think it's absolutely important. Absolutely important. And we want folks to go out and support the Go-Go. Go out and support the Capital City Go-Go. They're a great team, amazingly ran organization. So we absolutely want to support them as much as we can, for certain. Wizards fans, I absolutely need you to check in right now. We're in basketball season, continuing the conversation about the Capital City Go-Go. We are also in NBA season. Wizards fans, check in. Need you to check in right here, right now. Make sure you're sharing this in all of the Wizards groups. Wizards fans, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion. And while you all are checking in and sharing this show with your fellow Wizards family, because we want to have a discussion, we absolutely do. You know that we have to. Now, with the Wizards looking at a 2-game losing streak, let's talk about it. But before we get into it, I need to shout out my Triple W family. The Triple W Season 2, Episode 1 is now available. YouTube and other streaming platforms. We kicked off this week. A lot of great feedback. And here's the interesting thing. When we recorded the podcast and we recorded the show, it was all fun and games, wasn't it? If you haven't heard it yet, I still want you to go and listen to it. Okay? a lot of excitement. Even myself, in leading the charge in the Wizards discussion for our second season, first episode, leading the Wizards discussion, I shared on that show, I said, hey, we're going to do on the Triple W a CWall Sports and Entertainment special. What we do on Coaching from the Couch and Coaching from the Couch, both shows, the DC Sports Weekly and on the Washington Football Team Update. We do, and we play a game called What's Your One Word? And we played that game. And my colleagues in the Triple W, they, Karita, I think she said surprised, and Bree said confident, and Becca said wow, and we were like, whoa. And that was still coming off of the loss to the Atlanta Hawks, right? Okay. So we had a powwow as we were covering the Wizards this week when they took on the Toronto Raptors at Capital One Arena. And we were like, dang. As soon as we communicate to Wizards fans to get excited, what happens? What happens? Second week of the season, that's what happened. That's what happened, everybody. And hey, I want to know right now, Wizards fans, drop in the chat, are you concerned? Are you worried? I want to know. Are you? Now, it's still early. And most believe, like myself, hey, I kind of get a sense of the lay of the land around December. So how many games is that? About 20 or so? Around December is when I say, oh, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with. Now, I will say, because since last week, they had the game with the Boston Celtics that went into double overtime. Now, the Wizards of the former Wizards, they absolutely would have lost that game. They would have lost that game in regulation, actually. So I was happy to see the overtime. I was really happy to see double overtime. I was frustrated with the whole situation, but okay, nonetheless, because the Wizards came out with the win. For some reason, the Hawks game, I felt like was going to turn out the way that it did. Raptors game wasn't so sure. The Raptors were coming into Capital One Arena having won 4 games in a row, I believe. They definitely were not looking like the Raptors that the Wizards played in the first game of the season. So I was kind of like, this is a different team. What could be going on here? Now, there was some positive notes that I saw still from the game with the Raptors, which I wanted to share. So, okay, Washington out-rebounded Toronto 44-42. Cool. They outscored the Raptors 40-34 in the paint. Got it. And they won the second chance points battle. I definitely paid attention to the second chance points. I was paying attention to that very closely. So that was all well and good. But the team still, and I got it before I move on, I really enjoyed watching the energy Denny Avdia came out with in the second half. I enjoyed that. I did. I must admit it was fun to watch. And I want to bring up this point because I think it's important that Russ is bringing up. It's tough to beat the same team twice. So they're going to be doing a lot of that all season long. But I did want to share some of the video footage from the pressers after the Raptors game. Coach Unseld Jr. was clearly not happy. He wasn't happy at all. You could see it all in his body language and in his face. I want to share this video. Then while you all are looking at the video, start thinking about how good you think this Wizards team is, and comment how good you believe this team is in the chat, because I really want to know your thoughts on this. Let's check out Coach Unseld Jr. first.
Why do you think it's a repeat issue at this point?
It's a good question. I mean, because we talk about it at length, and we we responded at times throughout the game, but to your point, the starts, it's inexcusable. There's really no reason for it, but I think part of it is, our mental approach. I think we had some success, and that was great early, but that's over with. It's a new month. We got to continue to buckle down and understand what we're about to face.
So I appreciated the fact that I could feel the sense of urgency and concern in Coach Unseld Jr.'s look, and even in his voice. I said, oh, he's feeling some type of way about this loss. And the conversation went on. There were additional questions around preparedness, and if the coach could sense at all that a team was off, or things weren't, gelling to right in practices, and things just weren't coming together a bit. And while he didn't say, yes, I sense that, he did say, sometimes you can tell. So I took that to mean maybe he could sense it early on and just was kind of like, okay, let's get down to the root of this. Now, what I absolutely appreciate was that he said it's a new month, and we had to be prepared for what we're about to face. I took that to mean, hey, listen, you cannot get too excited and amped up about what happens in October when the regular season doesn't end until April. Okay, it takes time for teams to gel. And of course, the film is getting out there. People are studying you. People are watching you. They're seeing how you're moving and maneuvering, and the chemistry that you're building together. And like he said, this is what we are about to face. People need to know this is what we're about to face. In other words, they're on to us. Got a little too hot, and now they saw what we were doing, and they're paying attention, as they should, and vice versa. Now, I asked another question. I asked you all, how good do you think the Wizards are? Like, seriously, I think it's safe to say they all right. Not so much. Or you think they're great, say they're great. Bradley Beal was asked a question, about how he felt about the gameplay against the Raptors. And here was Brad's response to that.
Sing with your guys' slow starts, basically.
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't know. I really can't pinpoint it. There's just no excuse for it. We're not a team that can just flip a light switch and think we're going to be good. We're not that good. So we have to get that out of our heads. Like, we're not that type of team yet. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be ready to go.
We're not that good yet. Okay, Brad, I appreciate your honesty. Thank you for that. Thank you for saying at least what I was thinking. It was fun, though. It was nice. But hey, there's power in transparency. This is what I love to tell people. That's another one of my mantras, even in the work environment on a regular basis. I say, hey, listen, people, there's power in transparency. Tell the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it. Hey, man, look, you're 2 weeks in. We're not that good yet. We're not that type of team. We're not that good. Oh, because when you can be honest like that up front, you can course correct. I would rather that level of honesty than trying to make up some crap about it's okay, it's all right, it's early, it's this, that, and the third. No, tell the truth. Tell us what you really think. You're not that good. Stay there, because that keeps you humble. I'm good with that. I like that level of honesty and humility early on, because that means you're open and know that you need to improve. You know that you can't just come out slow and unfocused. You can't do that. Tell the truth up front. power in transparency. Let me just say that. Okay, a lot of power in that. Hey, look, we ain't even all that good, but this is what we need to do to improve. It's no, we'll get there. It'll get better. No, we're not that good. I appreciated it. I said, Brad told the truth. That's great. Nonetheless, it is still early, but I appreciate that ability to set the stage for all parties involved, that Brad, whom is the leader, so they say, and I'm sure that some people might say, well, he shouldn't have said that out loud. Hey, listen, in my family, we do have a saying, and I'm sure my mom won't be mad about me sharing this, because we have a lot of sayings, and one of those sayings is, it's only bad if it isn't true. Meaning, don't tell no lies. Hey, it's true. You're not that good yet. You'll get there. You'll get there. But more to come. Long season. Regular season doesn't end till April. But while we're talking about it, listen, still go out to a game. It's cool. You got to wear your mask, of course, and be safe and do all of those things. But I wanted to share with you, even still, here's the November home schedule. Take a look at the home schedule. Screenshot it. Check in with CWall Sports or with the Triple W Pod. If you're in, let us know that you're in the building. These are all the games. And if I'm being completely honest, can I share something with y'all? I need to share something with y'all because there's power in transparency. Okay? Listen, when I was at the Raptors game, I literally said out loud out of my mouth in front of my media colleagues, Washington play Vancouver next, don't they? They play ain't Vancouver? Lord have mercy. No, I had to share that. It's power and transparency. I'm not sure what year I think it is, or maybe it was the warm-ups in the new uniforms that made me think I was back at the Capitol Center somewhere. And I was like, this team has not been Vancouver in like 20 years. So I just had to share that with y'all. That first, I was still, I guess I'm turning into my dad. I felt like that was just funny and I wanted to share it. Power in transparency, people. Power in transparency. While we are sticking with the power in transparency moment, yeah, Vancouver, and now they're the Memphis Grizzlies. I went all the way back to the 90s on that one. Power in transparency. Let's keep it going. Washington football team fans, check in. Check in, check in, check in. How you doing? How y'all holding up? Are y'all okay? How are the Washington football team community? How are you making it? How are you making it? Me personally, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. As you all know, the team is on a bye week. Let's talk through all the things that have transpired this week, shall we? So the team is on a bye week. We know the trade deadline was this week. There was talks about the team trading Landon Collins, and then that just went nowhere. Then, what do you know? There was media outside of the DC area that was sharing that Washington was trying to make a trade for Mitchell Trubisky. That happened. Let's get back to that in a minute. And now Montez Sweat experienced a jaw fracture at the end of the Denver Bronco game and is looking to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Wow. Whoa, man. What is going on? What is going on? And I'm looking, listen, thank God on the bye week. Everybody's just holding on to thin ice. Daryl, he's ready for a game though. Keep it all there. Listen. Keep hope alive. That's all anybody could do. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm not sure when Montez Sweat got hurt. I really do believe it was like at the end of the game. But hey, you guys, I really want to get into this potential trade that, of course, internal to Ashburn is being said is not true. But there's reliable media sources outside of this area that says it was. So we're going to talk about that in a moment before we get into bold predictions of what the rest of the season looks like. Absolutely want to share the bold prediction segment is brought to you by Uplift Property Suite. So now we can start with bold predictions. I absolutely want to hear your bold predictions for the rest of this season. Bold. But let me just be clear on bold. You can be bold and still be accurate. Okay? Definitely got to still be accurate. Got to deal with that. I would like to see boldness, bold accuracy predictions. Bold accuracy is always good. You know, beating the Cowboys twice. I'm going to leave this up here for a second, and here's why. Because I actually said to myself just the other day, I said, well, I guess the team can look forward to at least trying to beat the Cowboys twice. Something to look forward to. The last wild card spot, definitely bold, probably not that accurate though. Probably not that accurate. It's not like it doesn't get any easier, is what I'm saying. Jared Patterson may just run over 102 games. That might work. That absolutely might work. Now, this is absolutely a bold prediction. Not sure if it's going to happen, but it's bold. It is bold. It's absolutely one of the boldest I've read. And hey, listen, the team is going to come back from the bye week. Chase Roulier is officially on IR. Montez Sweat is out for 4 to 6 weeks. What else? Who else? I don't know. But what we do know is this. Earlier this week in one of Ron Rivera's pressers, he made the point to mention, does this team have its franchise quarterback? And you all recall, I said Ron has said that. I said, and Ron has said that because Ron is basically telling us that he is well aware that the franchise quarterback does not sit on this current active roster. The news of Mitchell Trubisky potential trade lets you know that's how they feel. You all, as always, there's more to come and more to share. But we are at our time for the evening. Can you believe that? The time goes by so fast. But you all make sure you're still sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. Stay tuned. Stay locked into all things CWall Sports and Entertainment. And I will see you guys soon.
You're not on the field or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. girl. Down for my skins. I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice. Pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall every live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.